Okay, I am officially back to working on the Winx Club redesigns, aka Aisha, who I did not mean to push back for so long, and now kind of regret since the news about Rainbow using AI turned out to basically be true. But what that has to do with Aisha, well, she's kind of the main focus of the AI, as her official hair is clearly taken from the AI generated image, which, like, WTF, no wonder the outfits and fairy forms suck, and why this image bugged me so much. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, Aisha, or Lila, depending on the W watched, is the fairy of waves and is the third princess of the group. Aisha does not appear in season 1 and is introduced in season 2 with her trying to save the pixies, which I have to ask, did her parents not know she was kidnapped? Or did this all happen in like a day for Aisha? But then it's like she's been asleep for 4 days as well. It's so weird that it's never mentioned. But yeah, after this, we basically learn Aisha is the girly tomboy type, which honestly for the time was pretty new, and I like that they didn't push Aisha into being just that. She's headstrong and brave, shy around boys but not disinterested, and pretty emotional. She loves to dance and is weirdly competitive, which just really adds more to her being a wave fairy. Also, yes, Aisha is a water fairy. She just uses a different kind of water, aka Morphix, which is honestly just pink magic water, but in later seasons she does just use straight up water. But yeah, her being a water fairy and being balanced in her personality makes sense, as water can be represented in both ways. Plus, it adds more to her background of being from a water-based planet and being related to mermaids, which, like, I don't really get how that works, because when you compare Aisha's father to his brother, like his legit brother, it's a little weird. This is another hybrid situation that bugs me with this show, but anyway, sorry. While her personality matched her connection to water, her original design, I mean, obviously her casual outfit doesn't have to, but I wish they'd done more, or at the very least made it more otherworldly, since Aisha comes from a more water-based planet. Cause I don't imagine thick wool socks would go over well, but I do like that, similar to Stella, Aisha doesn't dress very royal, but also isn't super into fashion, making them similar but also different. But other than that, it's a fine outfit for what it was of the time. Can't say the same for the reboot's concept attempt, because what the fuck is this? Like, yes, the silhouette is similar to her OG, but damn, Aisha was never really a rainbow outfit kind of person. But thankfully, they went back at it and we got this outfit, which I do actually like. I do think they could have done more, as she's a bit too plain. Like, yes, Aisha isn't 100% into fashion, but she's still dressed up. I'm not entirely sure what they could do to add more to it, but honestly, it's probably the best we're gonna get for a while. As for her hair, I don't mind the braids. I just kind of wish they did something more fun with them. I feel a lot of characters with braids always get the pulled back look instead of doing something different or adding to the style. Like Aisha with beads, or like style braids, you know, something similar to Hazel's from South of Midnight. Like, I love that even when it's braided back, you can see there's a difference in the way that it's braided. Something like that would be pretty cool, or some colored braids. Hell, I'd take a starfish hair clip, you know, something, anything to make her feel less plain compared to the others. But that's honestly it, cause like Tekna, it's just the need of accessories or detail. But as for her fairy form, good God, what happened? Like, it pains me to say this, but the AI was a decent start. So how did the team get to this? How? And again, it's so plain and boring, and not to mention the color is wrong. I understand that during the original run, Aisha's color was green to not counteract with Bloom's blue, but why baby blue of all colors? If they wanted to incorporate blue, then do like blue-green or mint or like more aqua colors. Like, water can be green, so it always made sense for Aisha's color to be green, to me at least. Also, I know I'm not the best at drawing shoes or give too much thought about shoes, but even I understand the need of shoes matching the outfit, and these horrible combat boots do not go with this leotard cheer dance recital outfit. But yeah, the outfit, I am just so disappointed, because again, this is a character that is from a water-based realm, so you think the outfit would incorporate that a little bit more. Granted, the original also didn't do that as much. However, now that this is a 3D format, you would think they would embellish the styles a little bit more, or add more detail to showcase that the characters have connections to their powers. And unfortunately for Aisha, there's literally no connection. I mean, neither is there for Bloom, but like, Bloom's thing was fire, but her outfit was blue, so like that in itself made no sense at the time. But everyone else has nods to their powers. Granted, it is small, however, though, Aisha now has nothing. She has no embellishments, no detail. The outfit is just blue to let you know water. But then again, Bloom's outfit is also blue, so like that's gonna confuse some people. It's like the worst outfit out of everybody. How could you do this to my girl Aisha? Like, water is such an easy theme to work with. How they got to this, I'll never understand. I will never understand. Ah! Okay, I can't take it anymore. I have to show you guys, like, take notes, Rainbow. I'm seriously pissed off. Okay, while I do like the official outfit, I do think it's a little too plain. Like, I like that it's athletic wear since Aisha is the most active of the girls and it makes swimming easier for her if she needs to jump into the water, but since the show has always been a bit more fashion-based, I feel they could have done more. So that's what I did. I kept the overall style of the official look, but added accessories and embellishments to really hint to Aisha's fairy form and connection to water. So I put her in a cropped high neck tank top and double layered zip up board shorts with scale patterns on the side. I also took the official top and made it into a cropped overshirt with holes as a nod to her Morphix powers and added her OG swirl symbol, but updated it a bit. I also added tassels to the ends of her shirt to give that beach vibe, or at the very least 2000s beach vibe, as that look was cool. Cause like, I did try to add like old school fishnetting to her design, but it felt too costumey, if that makes sense. I just really wanted her to feel like the fashion from her homeworld is advanced enough to seem like human fashion, but still seems different when you really look at her. Like, Aisha is really similar to Tekna and Stella, but is more in the middle of them, since I don't imagine Aisha knows too much about humans or their fashion like Stella does, but still wants that simple lifestyle and look, similar to theirs, but like Tekna, comes from a world that's very different and centered around one type of magic, hence why her outfit is less subtle than Stella's. Oh, as for accessories, I just added a few wraparound necklaces, her purple tassel belt, and her wristbands. I saw they had her wearing one glove, which, like, unless it's an archer's glove or compression glove, which if not, then it's crazy for her to have just one glove. So I changed her one glove to wristbands. They're able to regulate her magic and many other fun things, cause why should Tekna get all the fun magical tech, right? I did also give her a knee sleeve for support, since we literally meet her as she's rock climbing her way to the pixies in heels, which, like, they're super cute, but don't do that. But yeah, as someone who used to do a lot of running and jumping, I loved my knee sleeves, plus you could wear them longer than compression socks because they weren't super tight. But also, yeah, don't wear compression gear for super long stretches of time. It's not good for you. But to keep up with Aisha's whole asymmetrical styling, I just put it on one knee, so that is why it's not on the other knee. I would have put both on there. I'm desperately trying to hold myself back from adding one because I just talked about the glove. Also, her shoes, while I'd love to put her in heels or boots, I think water track shoes work best for her overall. I mean, obviously on days off or days where the class is more normal, then yeah, Aisha would wear heels. I imagine Aisha is the type to dress more for the activity, which honestly is smart, since the girls are always being pulled out of class to do something the teachers are too lazy to do. Like, I know they say they don't leave because the school needs someone there, but like, you have a whole staff of people. Not one teacher can go with them. Anyway, so I did change Aisha's body just a bit, because low-key I'm tired of the same body and face syndrome the show likes to do. Like, they moved things to be 3D. You can't be bothered to give the girls different builds. It's not that hard. I have made 3D models before. It is not that hard. So yeah, since Aisha comes from a water planet and swimming and dancing are her favorite things to do, it made sense to give her those body types, aka a little more muscle up top and stronger legs, which funny enough, both a dancer and swimmer have, but since Aisha doesn't do these things competitively, she's a bit narrower. If that makes sense. I'm sorry, I probably said that wrong. I also made her look a bit more like her father, since Farragonda pointed out how much she looks like him. And it's like, really? Really? I'm with Aisha on her comeback. It's still like, why would you say that if they don't really look that much alike? Like, she looks more like her mother than she looks like her father, and that's like the same face syndrome. So it makes me wonder how the fairies in the world see each other, because like, do they not see each other as like identical? But anyway, also to keep the theme of the girls' hairstyles looking similar to their fairy form's hair, I gave Aisha dreads with some pulled up front as bangs and gave her a bun. You know, something fun instead of just all of it being pulled back. And also colored a few of her dreads as a nod to her fairy form's hair. And just like Tecna, Aisha's ears are pointed a little as well, showing she has strong magic. Lastly, makeup. Since we live in the age of water-resistant makeup, and this is a reboot in what I'm assuming is like today's timeline, I see no reason not to give Aisha makeup, so I gave her a simple soft rose eyeshadow color and a natural red-brown lip. And that's pretty much it. I am pretty satisfied with this look. I think the colors I chose are still difficult for me to get used to since I really wanted to keep the purple of her OG and official form. And like, yeah, it's different enough to not be confused with Tecna, but a part of me hates the purple. Or maybe it's the shade of purple. I don't really know. I'm so tired. I have been working on this non-stop. It's all, honestly, the color choices that have been messing me up with this character design, because even with the fairy form, the color choice design process was difficult. So please be nice to me about the color choices. I really, really tried. I really love the outfits. I really love the design aspects of what I've created, but it's the color that is really messing me up inside. So to the artist in the comments, please be nice to me about my color choices. I really tried. But overall, I am still really happy with some of it. So on to the fairy form. Okay, for anyone who hasn't seen my Bloom and Tecna video, and now Stella, I've gone harder on the fairy aspect of the characters' designs. I know the show has its own lore and rules. It's just the OG fairy designs are just plain humans with wings, and yeah, a lot of books and fae artwork have them looking like humans with wings, but at least they were small. Aisha and the others don't really turn small when in full fairy form, and yeah, they do shrink, but that's a power/spell, which as a kid always felt like an add-in because it never truly comes back. Plus, they never change all that much in their forms, and considering that some of them come from other realms and planets, it's crazy they all just look like regular humans, yet we have ethereal fairies and rustic fairies and many more fairy types that don't look human. So yeah, I went more bug-like for the others, but not Aisha, cause surprise, Aisha isn't 100% a fairy. I mean, come on, she's related to mermaids and comes from a water-based planet. So similar to my AU with Stella, Aisha is a hybrid fairy, aka a mix of a typical water fairy, which, by the way, a fully fledged water fairy would technically be more water beetle or dragonfly bug-like, but due to many years of Aisha's people and her family marrying mermaids, they are now a merfolk fairy type. Though, since mermaids have a strong magical connection, there are times when children are born more mermaid than fairy. But Aisha is a perfect blend, and her powers are even stronger due to this. And similar to Tecna, Aisha's fairy form is a mix of actually being her body and a magical illusion. Anyway though, the animal I picked to reference Aisha is the flying fish, mostly as a way to choose something that fit both worlds. While flying fish don't necessarily fly, they do glide far enough to look like they do. Plus, they've often been mistaken as fairies before. Also, when the fish are flying, their streamlined bodies reduce drag when the fish are flying, and I'm doing air quotes, but they're very aerodynamic, which I think works for Aisha, as she's kind of the fastest fairy, or the most athletic at least, which works for her character overall. I mean, she likes to dance, she likes to swim, she's very sporty, so it makes sense for Aisha to excel in being the fastest flyer. So yeah, I think this overall adds to how fast Aisha is compared to the others, and her overall strength, as these little guys can take a lot when jumping. And even though there's no actual green colored flying fish, there are the typical blue ones and the yellow ones who look like water butterflies. Like, just wow, look at these things. Oh my god. So Aisha's colors come from her parents. That's the only way I'm able to get away with the green. And since she still is a fairy, I kept the body patterns similar to everyone else's. So green gradient arms and large ears, or fins. Since Aisha has such strong magic, she was able to make her own water. She also has fins on her legs, similar to a regular fairy, but due to being part mermaid, it's fins instead of wings. She also now has pearls either embedded in her arms or just a part of the illusion. I have not decided. Either way, it makes her more royal looking, but not overly so. I still wanted her form to feel royal, but still give that simplistic feel. Plus, I mainly wanted the shapes and colors to be the focus, not the finer details. As Aisha's original outfit was very asymmetrical, which was the highlight of her outfit. Her little details, not very many people noticed, but if you did notice, it did elevate the design once you did. So I used the fabric of her OG outfit to continue that. I also added seashell pendants, again as a nod to her realm. Even made her side fabric shaped like fins. For her overall body, or the parts that are more mermaid, are her eyelashes being more sharp and angular, and now having gills, since it's always bugged me that her people could breathe underwater, but had nothing to really show how they could do that. I also made her eyes more fish-like. I would have gone harder on the coloring style, but I low-key lost so much steam as I was going crazy trying to draw her, just too many ideas. I'm still not 100% satisfied. My flying fish wings could be better, but this is my first time making fins into wings, so yeah, not gonna beat myself up too hard about that. I also had a hard time with her top. I was trying to fuse the OG and Reboot's tops, but it was a bit too risque and didn't really fit. So I kind of just compromised with a shell like halter top. I made so many outfits that felt more like new season forms and had to keep reminding myself that this is a season 1 fit, so yeah, but I am happy with my color choice because let me tell you, finding a accent color that wasn't purple or deep blue was hard. But this sand color, oh my god, was it crazy helpful. Plus it goes with the whole vibe of ocean and makes up for the fact that her Reboot's colors are using yellow, which should have gone to bloom. Oh, also the hair. So even though the hair for the official design is based on an AI image, it's still technically a real hairstyle. Thick twist braids in a high ponytail and pulled back bubble braids. So I kind of took that and kind of reworked it into my own thing because it's so weird to me that they decided to keep the AI hair, and it's like, you didn't change much from the original AI image. There's a bunch of ways this could have gone differently, and here it is. This is my attempt at showing. So I gave her a high ponytail with 6 bubble illusion dreads tied off with mint pearls. She also now has a undercut, just cause, but I made the bubble part of the hairstyle more literal as her hair now has a bubbling water appearance. Think like Bee's lava lamp hair from Hell of a Boss, but water. And as for her crown, I kept it small, again as a subtle nod to Aisha not really wanting the princess life, but going with it because she kind of has to. As for makeup, I did want to go all out for it because, well, mer characters are my favorite and the makeup is like my favorite part of the design, but I wanted to keep the overall balance of Aisha's design, so I did simple sandy eyeshadow and a bold aqua green lip. Side note, my style for the series has every character have a bottom colored lip, and if their lips are fuller, the top lip will be black. So look out for Flora and Musa. Also, I added freckles last minute because I imagine Aisha was the type of kid to constantly go outside and swim and be yelled at to put sunscreen on. Anyway, the fairy form's not my best of the best work, but it still gives Aisha that otherworldly look and feels more like a water fairy now, which is all I really wanted. As for AU lore stuff, I don't have any per se, as Aisha's storyline is fine. I mean, I stopped watching till season 3, so yeah, but I remember her whole thing with Naboo, which honestly, I was way more interested in Riven's crush on that man than I was Aisha. Sorry. But personally, I think it's just because she came in so late in the game, and Rainbow kept adding more characters, aka the Pixies, and many more later on, that I never got that interested in Aisha. But I do hope that we have moments where Aisha and Stella talk more to each other and share their burdens about their futures, since neither seems that fully committed to taking over just yet. And I'd also love more of, I guess, arguments between Bloom and Aisha, mostly because they want what the other has. Aisha wants a normal life, while Bloom wants the royal fairy tale life, so it'd be fun to see them butt heads over this and become closer friends, instead of Bloom being jealous of Aisha over Sky. Like, come on, Sky sucks. No one wants that, man. But a small AU note, I guess, for Aisha is that since she'll be a part of the first season now, is that she actively tries to hide the fact that she's a princess, and says, just like Tekna, Flora, and Musa, she's just a guardian fairy, mainly for the drama, but yeah, that's all I got for her. Sorry, can you tell I'm losing steam on all of this? But anyway, next video will be Leviathan redesigned. Kinda. I made the design with my Leviathan in mind, so it's not 100% a redesign. Like, it's kinda similar to my Beelzebub video, where I said Bee's design is more like the daughter of Beelzebub than the actual prince. So, it's a redesign slash reimagine, cause let's all be honest, that design is just glitz and glam fused together with Pearl and Perry's colors. Right? So yeah. Also, shout out to Gotcha Arts in Stuff _VA. What a name. And 4'10" for the supers from my last video. Check that out, by the way. On the wall of teeth you go. Also, thank you, I think, to Fuzzy Memories. Low-key, if I shout you out before, I have zero memory, but welcome anyway if I forgot you. Happy to have you here. Also, thank you to the other members. You have my heart. I have some fun stuff just for y'all this weekend, so look forward to that. Also, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on my socials right here. And if possible, hit that join button or super to join the Board of Teeth. It really helps out the channel and me. I hope you all have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!